Once again, good evening and Hari Om to everyone. Welcome to the today's session of Yoga Beach. Okay. Yesterday we complete 22 and 23 slokas, I think. Yes or no? Yes, confirm me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What I found when we go through the slokas, here something what the writer is written here in English form little bit means I just feel that it is not a particular systematic manner. Okay, so that we are facing some difficulties in English version. Okay, but I think I am clear to clear. I am able to clear your doubts, whatever the slokas are telling, or whatever the questions and whatever the answers are given by the Lord Shiva. Yes or no? Please confirm me. Are you clear till now?
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Only one person is able to understand all the things. What about others?
Yes, ma'am. It is clear.
Okay, in this, okay, let's come to the sloka. In this 23 and 22 and 23, what here question is said by the goddess Parvati. Yes or no? So here you must be think it here the goddess Parvati in the delusion means confusion mind. See now because when Lord Shiva will be tell about the ignorance and the path of yoga and also as a path of the your Jnana yogi also. So she becomes now confused. So that this type of questions is want to ask to the Lord Shiva. Like in the same situation, like Arjuna will be faced in the Bhagavad Gita, in the same situation here, Goddess Parvati is now. Okay. So here I am just clarify you once again. In this sloka 22 and 23, what is there? The wise should try to prove as to what is the form of ignorance. Okay, a wise people must try to find out what is the form, what is the form of ignorance, what is the form means, what is the uh, root cause of ignorance. Whether it is possible only by knowing himself that he is pure to get rid of desire, anger, fear, etc. Means again, she want to uh, confuse again due to confuse. She want to ask that whether it is possible only by knowing himself. Means if one person will be know. Means if it is just talking about the knowledge people. Okay, a Gyani. If a Gyani, why we say Gyani? Because he have the knowledge about the Supreme Self. So here, knowing himself means himself is talking about the Supreme Self. If one person is able to know that Gyan, that knowledge, that wisdom, then he becomes, what is the knowledge? That he is pure to get, if the Supreme Self is pure and is out of the desire, anger, fear, and etc. So that it is possible that that person also who is Gyani, that he also becomes get out from the desire, anger, and fear, or he may be free from bondage having these imperfections. Okay, so little bit confusion is will be created here, so that Kandesh said again what is she is telling in 24 and 25 slogan. It is little bit you have to understand properly. There is nothing in according to the point of view of exam. It is not any question, but if we go through the Yoga Bija, so we must understand what the slokas are meaning and what they are want to tell here. What is the okay? So in this two sloka combine, first I just read out the things, try to understand, then we will go. On opening the dialogue of Jnana and Moksha. In the previous slokas, we discussed about Jnana and Moksha. So Parvati asks Shiva if realization of self is knowledge. If realization of self is knowledge, and if the self is perfect and omnipresent, if the self is perfect and omnipresent, then the imperfections such as desire, anger, etc., rising out of the self should be corresponding to the self. Okay, should be corresponding to the self. What do you mean by this till this line? That Parvati is asking to Shiva if realization of self is knowledge. If one person is able to realize the knowledge of self, means know the supreme self, what is supreme self, then if the self is perfect and omnipresent, and self is the only thing who is perfect and which is present everywhere. Omnipresent means present in everywhere. If that much knowledge is sufficient for a person, then the imperfections such as desire, anger, and etc., whatever rising out of the self, this desire, anger also coming through those only through the attributes of the self. So it will be corresponding to the self. Corresponding means equivalent. Here, she is asking about two self. One is who is pure, another one is who is just binding with the desire, anger, and perfect. Sorry, desire and anger, and with the ego. Okay, so she is just trying to ask that say these imperfections, whatever the coming desire and anger and the ego, due to ignorance it will become. The ignorance also come in the self only. So these two self are same or not, equivalent or not. Okay. Next, it would have therefore to be admitted that desire and anger are also the attributes of the self. Okay. So do we admit it that desire and anger are the attribute of the self? Okay, he just due to confusion, she just want to ask these things. Same thing will be discussed again and again, but little bit confusion. She just want the clarity. Okay, if you are telling that self is pure, again you are telling that self due to imperfection it will become, due to ignorance the self will become in the form of birth. Then can we say that we admit this one that desire and anger are the also attribute of the self? Okay, again, what she is trying to say? If you assume this, we would have to seek knowledge and admit that we were devoid of knowledge before self-realization. Okay, here see again talking about the two person, seeking of knowledge and one who don't know the knowledge. And now we have realized knowledge. Little bit English form is whatever it is written, little bit differentiation. Okay, which is tried to, if we go through the Hindi version, then it will be clearly mentioned. But little bit in English version, little bit confusion is there. Just I am trying to go through properly. You have to understand it. So here again, Goddess Parvati is asking two person, that one person who having knowledge, who is already in the knowledge, and another one who is not in the knowledge. That means who is the common man, who already in the knowledge, who is not in the knowledge, but he just seeking of knowledge, means he want to know the knowledge. The two person, what is the difference between these two? Because both are, one is already in knowledge, Gyani, but he is not to get the salvation. Okay, and one another people is there who is not know about, no, don't know about the any true knowledge, but still he is also in the not get the liberation. Then what is the difference? Okay, self before self realization knowledge. Okay, such conflicting statements binding us to remove imperfections like desire, anger, etc., or imperfections have been removed. How would such statements and counter statements be resolved? Okay, how this conflict will become in the goddess Parvati mind, so that she just want to remove his statements, remove his confuse, to remove his conflict. So she just want to clarify it, that what is the clarity between these two things, people just tell me. Okay, how, okay, next is, apart from this, the fact that man possessing knowledge is completely free from delusion of the world or ignorance, etc. How would this assertion made by the scriptures be reconciled? It is the same thing. One who person is following the scriptures. That means he is what? Jnani or yogi. If any person is following the scriptures, then what we call
Jnani.
Jnani. And who the free from delusion completely and free from any type of worldly object. What we call them?
Yogi.
Yogi. Good. So what is the difference? Okay, little bit I'm just trying to clear this sloka here. It is in the previous format. Here it is written. Let's go in this to clarify the fourth number question. It is fourth and fifth little bit mixed up here. This line. In this context, through Parvati, the author has put forth a query that in case the ignorance is the cause of bondage of self, knowledge should lead to salvation. Yes, of course, if ignorance is the cause of bondage, then knowledge will be lead you to the salvation. It is already clear. Then, is it righteous to say that knowledge alone cannot be bring liberation to the soul? It is the question put by the goddess Parvati. Okay. Can we say that knowledge alone, if only knowledge cannot be bring liberation to the soul? In reply to these queries, the author has raised two questions. Again, but it is the fifth number question, which is again asking by the Parvati. First, what is the knowledge which is only way to liberation? I hope all of you clear which part I just highlighted. Otherwise, it is not coming properly. Okay, all of you understand I am in which line? Can anyone tell me? Now we are reading which line? Yes? We are in which line?
Ma'am, this is the first of the paragraph in this context.
All of you able to know this?
The
We are,
author has raised two questions.
Yes, very good. It is little bit problematic for me to highlight the things, what is happening. I'm not able to understand. Oh, little bit it will be karna, so that it will be problem, I think so. Okay. So here, author again raised two questions. What? That is here, first one. What is the knowledge which is the only way to liberation, and what is ignorance which is the cause of bondage? We already seen. Secondly, it is the important which is we cover in the 24 and 25 sloka. It is the second question. It is possible to get rid of desire, anger, greed, etc. by merely knowing that the self is itself is Supreme Brahman. Okay. It is possible to attain liberation without removing these demerits. Who is not removing? The normal people, sorry, Gyani, who is know the, who have knowledge, but he is unable to remove these demerits or the grids. Okay. Thus, it is inevitable to accept that even after attaining the knowledge of various shastras, till a person does not conquer his passions, there is no difference between him and an ignorant person. Here, ignorant person means who is that? Ignorant person means who don't know about the knowledge and about the wisdom. Here it is telling. Now, all of you clear till now? 24 and 25.
Yes, ma'am.
The next God is telling here, Shiva will be replies that after listening logical questions. Why it is known as logical questions? Because she having confusion, conflict in his mind, in her mind, so that it is called logical questions. The God Shiva replies, "Oh Parvati, you are perfectly right that the self is perfect, but the perfection is of two kinds. Okay, the perfection is of two kinds. What is that? Attributive and non-attributive. It should be highlighted. Point out this two. How many kinds of perfection? There are two types of perfection. It may comes in your exam, that how many types of perfections are described in Yoga text and what are they? Otherwise, it will be given the question. Choose the perfection types which is mentioned in the Yoga Bija. So one is attributive, another one is non-attributive. With or without attributes. Okay. Attributes here, what do you mean by attributes? Can anyone tell me what are called attributes? What are called attributes of a self?
I think
Yes.
the desire and anger are all.
Yes, very good. The desire and anger, the quality of the self is, attributes means quality or feature. So what is the quality and feature of the self here? We are know before this sloka, that is desire and anger. These two. So implication of self with attributes is that one is conscious of being I. Where I is present, that is called attributive. I means when I is there, then ego must become. Okay. So you have to remember I means egoness should be there in the attributive perfection. The implication of self with attributes is that one is conscious of being I and that he is separate from me. Okay, when I-ness will be developed, automatically we think that he is separate from me. Who is he? Here, the Supreme Self. This is not mine. It is also there. Okay, just clarify the features of the attributive and non-attributive. What are the difference between these two? Okay, same thing will be mentioned here. Wherever awareness of division does not occur or it has completely been dissolved is called as non-attributive. Means when I-ness is not there and you just mixed with the Supreme Self, that state of mind or that state of thing is called non-attributive self. Okay. Little bit to clarify this too. Again, Lord Shiva will be elaborating further. It is said in the 27th sloka. What he said, now having attributes means activeness, the emergency of ego. When the ignorance is formed, emergency of ego, pride, attachment take the form of activity with which jiva is involved in worldly attachment. It is a normal thing. When you have attribute, when you have ego and pride, that type of quality, that type of gunas will become, then you obviously, you are in the ignorance. And because of that, when you emerge with the ego and pride, what happened? The bad karmas and good karmas will be there. You are making the bad karmas and as well as good karmas, so that it will be the reason of you are attached with the worldly attachment. So you will become again and again the birth and death cycle. Okay. Again, it will be clarified. The form of non-attributive self is devoid of imperfections. Devoid of imperfection means free from imperfections. The non-attributive. Attributive is the combination or the combine with this ignorance, which is formed due to ego, which is formed because of ignorance. What are the qualities? What are the attributes? Now here, ego, pride, attachment. Okay. And what is non-attributive? The form of non-attributive self is devoid of imperfections, means free from all type of imperfections. What are the imperfections? Like ego and attachment, the desire, that is nothing will be there in non-attributive, and is pure like the sky. It is very pure. It is already mentioned in the previous slokas when Shiva will be tell what is Supreme Self, who is Supreme Self. Okay. So here also same thing will be repeat. The only two difference he tried to told. One is attributive, another one is non-attributive. Who is attributive? Now when I-ness is there, I-ness means when ego is there due to ignorance. That is called attributive perfection. Okay. And the second thing is non-attributive. What is non-attributive? Now when the self is free from any type of imperfections and pure like the sky. By virtue of its purity and in the absence of imperfections, this unattributive self is without birth, consistency and destructions. It is without ego, attachment, etc. So it's completely free from their awareness. All of clear? This one is birth, little bit printing mistake, I think. B-I-R-T-H, birth. Okay. So here the qualities of the non-attributive self. What are the qualities? Lord Shiva will be try to discuss here. Now the non-attribute self is free from imperfections like ego and attachment. And second point, what he told, pure like the sky. Okay. And what he is telling here again, imperfection, this unattributive self is without birth, consistency and destruction, which have no birth and no destruction is there. Okay. It is without ego, attachment, etc. or is completely free from their awareness. Clear? All of you clear about this two perfection or any doubt?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear, ma'am.
It's clear, ma'am.
Okay, very good then. The next 29 slokas is telling, oh beauteous, means it is the, he just telling to the goddess Parvati in a name that is beauteous, means He Sundari. Okay, beautiful. This means who is very much beautiful. O beauteous Parvati self, Parvati, self after giving up knowledge while being attached to ignorance, repeatedly involve itself in joys, sorrows, death and birth, etc. As normally happens with all the jivas. Okay. What he want to clarify it about the Gyani. Where is the question? In which number question? That here it is, fifth number question is asking by the Parvati. I am telling you, 4 and 5th as mixed up questions are there in the slokas. What is the 5th number of question? Now on the, what is the form of Gyani? Why Gyani is inferior than Yogi and why? That is the question in 5th question is asked by the goddess Parvati. So here Lord Shiva is trying to clarify it little bit. Then after that, one by one slokas, it will be mostly clear. So what he is trying to clear here in this sloka? Now, self, after giving knowledge, if one self is there, who have every type of all shastras knowledge, all scriptures knowledge, while being attached to ignorance, only he is in the knowledge, but still he is attached with the ignorance, repeatedly involved. Okay, he is just involved because of ignorance. No doubt he have knowledge, but still he is in the ignorance and involved in different type of ignorance activities or attributes like joy, sorrows, death, and birth, etc. As normally happen with all jivas. Okay, how the normal individual soul will be behave in the same way it will become in the death and birth cycle. Here Lord Shiva is trying to clarify it. The Gyani also, due to attachment with the ignorance, he is again and again coming in the death and birth cycle. Okay. Then what he is discussing in the next sloka? If in the same manner the man of wisdom is also involved in the worldly attachment, it should be accepted that both the man of wisdom and the man of ignorance are sailing the same boat and they are equally attached to the physical world. Okay, what we discussed in the previous, that one also here, the same thing. A man of wisdom and one man is who is not able, don't know about the wisdom and don't know about the knowledge. Okay, if a Gyani only increase his knowledge and still attach with the ignorance, and one person who having no knowledge but attached with the ignorance, then what is the difference? These two are in the sailing the same boat. They are in the same boat because they are not able to get the liberation. Why? Because these two type of people are already in the ignorance. Only the difference is one is know the knowledge, one are having knowledge, but one don't have. But still they are in the same boat. Why? Now, because of ignorance. Both are in ignorance. Both don't know the truth of the Supreme Self. So they are equally attached to the physical world. They are equally connected with the attachment is there with the world, worldly object. So here in the 31 sloka, if the jiva having worldly involvement like ego, attachment, etc., is considered to be possessing wisdom, then how would we define ignorance? Okay? If the jiva having worldly involvement means like ego, attachment, desire, all the things will be considered here, involvement. Attachment is considered to be possessing wisdom, then how would we define ignorance? Okay, the jiva being conscious of worldly feelings like you, mine, yours cannot be considered as man of wisdom. Okay. Here you mind means the jiva being conscious of worldly feelings. These are the feelings which is come due to ignorance. Now, the same thing will be we found as man of wisdom. Okay, he is free from such feelings and is therefore indifferent to them and possessed of full knowledge of dharma and adharma, and is master of his senses. The person who is not master of senses and is rather sensual can never be considered as a man of wisdom. Okay, he just tried to differentiate the two things again, that one is already in the shastras who who have knowledge dharma and adharma, but still he is in the feelings of worldly objects, like your I-ness or you-ness is there, but the person who is not master of his senses means okay, who is the person who is not master of his senses is rather sensual, can never be considered as a man of wisdom. Means here Lord Shiva is trying to tell only in the knowledge it is not sufficient that you will get the liberation. Okay, if you don't know the control over your senses, master of his senses means you must know that you how to control your senses. But here what he is trying to tell, if one person is knowledgeous, is a man of wisdom, but he don't have the control over his senses and sensual objects, then he will not be considered as a man of wisdom. Okay, so what he will be do, if same both are the person who is having a knowledge or wisdom and who are not just ignore the normal people, the normal individual soul who is not know the knowledge, then how will we identify between the yogis and a jnani? So, O Parvati, the gods cannot achieve moksha without yoga sadhana. Okay, he is just trying to tell that if a god is there, he also cannot be achieve moksha without yoga sadhana. The complete wisdom as explained in the previous slokas. We are just explaining what is wisdom and what is the features of a jnani and what are the what we say qualification of a jnani is that he must be going through the shastras, having more knowledge. But what he is telling here, which is the method of achievement of moksha, cannot be achieved without yoga. Okay, whatever the wisdom we explained in the previous slokas, all are true, all are good, but which is the method of achievement of moksha? On which way we get the moksha? Cannot, only the path is yoga. That one cannot be achieved without yoga. Means if you going through the wisdom, no doubt you will get the salvation, but must be yoga should be added. Here yoga means what? What he's trying to explain? That one must be having control over their senses. So only the control over the senses will be possible only practicing of yoga. Okay, so he is just trying to clarify it here that one wisdom people, one jnani is there, but if he don't know the yoga path, means not cannot control his senses, then he will be not able to get the salvation or moksha in his life. He just coming in the death and birth cycle repeatedly, I mean in and out, like in this cycle he is just moving. But if one person is having wisdom and he is having control over his senses, how control over the senses will be possible? Due to only practice of yoga. Okay, so let's go ahead. Even after gaining wisdom, its maturity is not possible without yoga. Same thing he is trying to explain here. Even after gaining wisdom, its maturity will be when it will be mature. when you will be yoga should be added. So that he is try to tell here, its maturity is not possible without yoga. Thus, it should be accepted without any controversy that it is not possible to achieve salvation without yoga. Okay. So what Lord Shiva is trying to tell here, that there is no you whatever you are coming in your mind, different type of controversy will be there. You must be, there is no any controversy. You must be accepted, because I am telling to you, you must be accepted that it is not possible. If you want to get salvation or moksha without yoga, it is not possible. So whatever the Gyani or any Jivatma who is not following, who is not in knowledge, or only here they are talking about these two people, yogi is not coming here. In the next sloka, it will become yogi. Okay. Whatever the things, these two category of people must be need practice of yoga. What happen here if they practice of yoga? Then they know the control over the senses. Why the control over the senses is required? It is mentioned in the next slokas. He just tried to explain. So when Goddess said the next question, put the next question. All of you clear till now? I want to answer from everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Everyone is
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you can tell me in between if you are unable to understand, because we are just going through the explanatory form. So I'm not going through the slokas because it will be little bit taking time. And also many of you are not able to understand the Hindi because all the slokas are written in Hindi. Okay, so here, next question is put by the goddess. What Goddess Parvati will be put the question? Let's check. On hearing the above dialogue of Sankara, Parvati, in order to elaborate the subject further, asked. When he is telling all the discussion, now Parvati is thinking, what is the other question? Again, it will be confusion. Same confusion is here, little bit. O Sankara, if for the jiva possessing complete wisdom, nothing is required to be achieved, why does the self-conscious person does not receive moksha instantly, despite the fact that he has grasped the truth that self is non-attributive and pure like the sky? Parvati is telling about which person here? What is the kind of person here?
Gyani.
Rani.
Gyani, very good. So this is your question number 5. Clearly, you just want to ask again one time. O Sankara, if for the jiva possessing completely wisdom, means the jiva, the individual soul is completely wisdom, nothing is required to be achieved. There is nothing to achieve more. He is a completely know the all shastras, all the scriptures, all they are completely know all the things. Then nothing will be required to achieve. There is no more shastras are there to read out. Then why does self-conscious person does not receive moksha instantly? Okay. If he know the wisdom, he know the supreme self very clearly, then why not he got the moksha instantly? Why he will be take again and again death and birth cycle here? Why he will become in again that cycle? The fact that he has grasped the truth that self is non-attributive and pure like the sky. The same thing. If he know the that is non-attributive and pure like the sky, then why he will not get instant moksha? So what is the answer is given by the Lord Shiva? Now God said, on hearing the question put up by Parvati, Sankara elaborates his statement in the 34 and 35 sloka. What he is trying to tell? White souls are of two kinds. It is most important, try to highlight. That is, perfection is of two types. Here, the soul. Talking about the soul. The soul is of two types. Here, immature and mature. What is immature and mature? Okay, we will go through it. First I read out. Immature and mature. Wisdom does not become mature without yoga. Therefore, those souls who do not practice yoga sadhana are immature, while those practicing yoga sadhana have matured with the aid of yoga. Okay. So here he is trying to tell about two souls, two kinds of souls. One is immature, one other one is mature. Who is immature? Wisdom does not become mature without yoga. Okay, if we define the mature soul, when the person having yoga practices, yoga sadhana, then we will tell he is in the mature state. The soul who is not practicing the yoga sadhana, he is in immature state. It is the simple differentiation between immature and mature. Okay. So here he is studying have matured with the aid of yoga. The aid means the support of yoga. Such souls are called as wise souls. Such souls are called wise souls. On burning in the fire of yoga, the jiva, individual soul, becomes free from sorrow and achieves completely wisdom. Whereas the immature soul, who has not matured itself, with the help of yoga, is inanimate and material. It is true, because when the jiva will become burning in the fire of yoga. Burning in the fire of yoga means it is just compare fire means burning in the fire of yoga. It means the different type of practice. If you continue doing the all type of practice of yoga like asana, pranayams, meditation, especially, so then you are going through that burning of the fire. Then you become free from sorrow and achieves complete wisdom. Whereas the immature soul, it is talking about mature soul who is burning on the fire. Then whereas the immature soul who has not matured itself with the help of yoga is inanimate and material. Means they are still, if they are not using the yoga practice, not doing the yoga practice, then what happened? They are still in the materialistic and they still are combined with the all type of ignorance. They are binding. The sad soul is attached to sorrow and is also cause of sorrows to the others. So they are called sad soul. Why they are called sad soul? Because they are just attached with the sorrows and also cause of the sorrows of the others. Okay, they are just doing the problem. They are just attached with the problems and also they make problem for others. Yes or no? Because we are the normal, who are the normal people, they are not practicing. What they will be do every day? They are just talking about the other self and also they just complaining his mind that I'm just suffering because of this, because of that. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that things will be discussed here. Little bit, if we clarify it, I will go to the first page of this book, because in slokas it is mentioned, but in this declaration, in this explanation of the English form, it is not there. So I am just opening this PDF also. Yes, this one. After expressing this fact, the author has made it more clear by stating that a Gyani is like an earthen pot half-baked, which is half-baked. Okay. Yogi is like a fully baked earthen pot. Why it is telling? Because here we are using the burning on the fire. Okay, burning on the fire of yoga. So yogis are called fully baked earthen pot, and the Gyani are like earthen pot, half-baked. Why half-baked? Because Gyan is there, knowledge is there, but control over the senses is absent there. So they are called earthen pot or half-baked. But yogi are called fully baked. Okay. So by yoga practice, a person becomes self-illuminous and devoid of all passions. On the contrary, a Jnani does not enjoy such condition due to lack of yoga practice. Even while practicing meditation, his sense organs lead him to sense object. When a Jnani having all type of knowledge, but when he just sit for the meditation, what happens? Because he is not going through the burning of the fire of yoga, so that what happened? His sense organs are not in the control, so that different type of sense objects will become in his mind during the meditation practice. Being troubled by hunger, thirst, heat, cold, happiness, sorrow, diseases, fire, water, air, etc. His mind stop reaches the stage of disturbance, and he cannot escape death in this situation, and takes rebirth according to his thoughts at the time of his death. Thus, he does not get rid of this birth chain, and ultimately this knowledge proves to be deceptive. By yoga practice, by yoga practice, the ego, which is the cause of rebirth, completely destroys, and as a result, he becomes free from the chain of rebirth and sorrows. Okay, so here he just giving the answer of the question number 5. What is the question 5? It is also there. I'm just showing you question 5 directly. On the one hand, Jnani has been described as inferior to yogi. On the other hand, it has also been accepted that nothing remains unknown for a Jnani in this world. Then why is it so that a Jnani does not attain liberation? The same question we discussed according to the slokas. So this is the answer. All of you clear till now? 5th number question. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Only 1 or 2 answers will be giving me the answer. What about others? Others are able to understand or not? Please confirm me. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why so sad that yes, ma'am? Huh? Why sadly you told that yes, ma'am?
Not sad, ma'am. It's tired voice.
Tired voice.
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to memorize the things or not? Now it will be going, it is too much. Should we stop here? Or we continue 2 more sloka?
We'll stop, ma'am.
Stop.
It's sufficient, ma'am.
Okay. So till 5th number question answer we completed. In the next class we will go through the 6th number of question. Okay, let's check. Okay, there are more discussion on there in the same question. So we complete till 35 today. Tomorrow we will go for 36. Okay, everyone try to go through this first page which I send you in the first PDF. There is some short notes are there. You just try to read out and try to take a short note on this basis. Okay, it is there in the first PDF. If you are unable to understand, then you can go through it. It will be very easy because it is written in short form. Quickly you can find out the differentiation and you can do a review. Okay. Now I am stop sharing the. Okay, anyone having any doubt in any question? There are 5 questions we discussed. Little bit, I'm just overview till now. First question asked by the Lord Parvati, what is that? How could the self be emancipated from the suffering of pairs of delusion? Means how oneself will be free from the sufferings of pairs of delusion and what are the means of salvation? Okay, can anyone tell me the answer? How one can free from the suffering of delusion? What is
Nath Yoga.
Nath Yoga? Answer.
Nath Marg, ma'am. Nath Marg.
Nath Marg. Yes. That is the silly mistake you will do in the exam and it will become as 0. Okay, next, second question is, how did the self, which itself is Supreme God, get the state of individual self, individual soul? What is the answer?
Because of ego, because of the rising of ego.
Yes, because of the rising of ego or because of the ignorance. Okay, he just came in bind with the bad karmas and good karmas so that he is coming God get the state of individuals. Now, third question. If ignorance is the cause of bondage, salvation must be achieved by knowledge, then what is the use of yoga? What is the answer? Yes?
Then Lord Shiva gives the explanation here, ma'am, clarification that just knowledge is not enough.
Yes, just knowledge is not enough. Knowledgeous people must be know control over the senses.
Which
Okay.
comes through yoga.
Come through the yoga. If ignorance is something different from the evils like anger and desire, etc., what are the means to get out of this ignorance? How one person will be get out or free from this ignorance? How? How?
By knowing the true self and through practice of yoga.
By doing yoga sadhana. Okay. We discuss.
I think the fourth question relates to both the aspects like this. There was a mention about both importance of both aspects, wisdom and yoga.
Yes. 2 things are required. Yoga sadhana also required and wisdom also required. Then 5th number question. On the one hand, Jnani has been described as inferior to Yogi. On the other hand, it has also been accepted that nothing remains unknown for a Jnani in this world. Then why is it so that Jnani does not attain liberation in one birth?
Because
Okay,
even if he's a
Usasri, just silent. Let's ask to someone else. Sonia.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the answer.
Because he could not control the sensual attractions. That's why.
Okay. Swaminathan. Yes, Swaminathan is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tell me the answer. What is the answer? On the one hand, Jnani has been described as inferior to Yogi. Then why not Jnani attain liberation in one birth? Don't know.
Because yogi only has the complete in the victory over the senses.
Yes. What happen if he is not victory over the senses? Then what is the problem? Sangeeta. Sangeeta is there.
You'll be born again. Whatever. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
The person will be born again. Even if he meditates, he will be meditating on his own thoughts or will be disturbed.
Yes, very good. So here today we discuss Jnani as a something unvaked and the yogis are baked. Means then tell me what are the two perfection types? What is told by the Lord Shiva? The types.
Attributive, non-attribute.
Yes. Good. What are the two types of jiva is telling by the Lord Shiva? Manjusa. Manjusa.
Can you repeat, ma'am?
The two types of soul described by the Lord Shiva, what are they?
Ma'am, mature soul and immature soul. And mature soul is one who does yoga, and immature one is the one who does not do yoga. They have knowledge, but they do not do yoga, so they are called immature souls.
Very good. Very good. So, then very good. This fifth question number 5 till now we completed. Next we'll discuss tomorrow, sixth number question. Tomorrow, I think it is not possible to take the class. We'll do it Monday. It is okay?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
all
Yes,
of
ma'am.
you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Try to do the notes, short notes, and go through the PDF again and again, because now you are now you having 3 or 4 classes, I think so. So now if you take the note properly, then it will be not hurry during the exam. So try to do now only during this. If you are giving 10 days to me, then you have to complete it within 10 days. In the exam time, you just look at the pages only. No need to do again the notes. Now only you just, if you giving 10 days, do it properly and give your 10 days proper way, that you have to write all the notes properly. No need to make a very long note, short notes only you just make. At last, whatever I am telling you, that I will give you a short notes or short slide PDF format. That will be very helpful for you. You just try to do the notes by yourself. Very shortly types, and whatever you understand, just try to do it. No need to do another fair note. One note, all within this, how many days we complete, that is over. Okay. Yes, Manjusa.
Ma'am, will we be doing PYQs at the end or maybe somewhere?
Sorry, your voice is not audible properly. Tell me.
Ma'am, will we be doing PYQs related to this subject in future or maybe
Yes.
somewhere?
Okay. Okay, I will try to. Okay, let's me check. We will do till after completing 7 question, then we will go for it.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. And just stop the recording.